Hello everybody, welcome back to Paper Mario. This is this is words. This is words that appear from my mouth in orders that are supposed to make sense, but then I lost track of where I was in my own goddamn sentence. One sentence into this episode. I'm Jacob.
I'm Noah.
And yeah, and this is the HitmonChannel. Anyway, so last time on Paper Mario, we entered this house, went to Shy Guy's toy box, and then encountered Anti-Guy, and then promptly got murdered by Anti-Guy because I forgot that you can't run away from Anti-Guy. So, in this episode, we are going to plan to fight Anti-Guy again, but first, since fighting Anti-Guy is entirely optional, I'd like to do some other stuff first. It's also entirely optional. So, at least I'm pretty sure it's entirely optional. Anyway, what am I doing now? I'm going to need both. And I'm going to need Mario for this. At the very least, it's optional to do at the moment, but I'm going to go do it anyway. And it relates to this pipe right here. This private pipe. Also, I just remembered, Shy Guy running away from the frying pan here. Not a one-time incident, there's also a Shy Guy that runs away with a storeroom key for a shop that's in that direction that I didn't go into last time. And there's a Shy Guy that runs away with a calculator from this direction from the bad shop. And then, there's also, since I remembered this time, also I'm just going to read the back of this bulletin board real quick. Scribble here, yourself fun. Okay. Because I believe there's also another Shy Guy in this direction. This is a toad.
Oh, sorry.
Words are mocking me. I need that dictionary.
And then a Shy Guy that steals the dictionary. So, we've got a total of 4 Shy Guys who've stolen things in the town, and 2 Shy Guys that are just kind of sitting over here, messing up flowers. Let's just quickly scare them away. If I can hit them with a hammer, that would be great.
Also, at the time we're recording this, happy birthday, Donald Duck.
Oh, happy birthday, Donald Duck.
Apparently that's
Happy
the only
birthday.
reason I know that is
it's your
because of
birthday.
Tom's Disney Collect.
Thank you. Flowers give you there.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I started reading that sentence without knowing how it was ending, and it was like, wait, what?
Flowers give you their thanks as well, Mario.
And yeah, just a thing. And this flower field will be important, I promise you. It's definitely going to be important. I can definitely reveal its importance right now, but I'm not going to. Because
Like,
this
when I
episode...
started reading that, I definitely thought it was going somewhere like, the flowers are giving you their power. I'm like, wait, what? And then it's like, oh, wait.
Welcome.
Wait,
What?
okay, maybe it's just too late and I'm, like, tired, but, like, I did not see you go into a pipe. I just saw you walk somewhere and then come out of a pipe somewhere else.
Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the underground. What was that?
Am I going crazy? Like,
I think you just been looking away when I went down the pipe.
whoa, no, I was watching the screen. I definitely did not see you go.
Then it's possible that the screen just lagged. Education does that.
That's also possible.
Anyways, we got some new enemies. Gloombas.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Like, not even in the Goombario voice. Are you shitting me? This is a fucking Gloomba, I guess. Gloombas are nasty Goombas who live in the Toad Town tunnels. Jesus Christ. Max HP 7, attack power 2, defense power 0. They're stronger than ordinary Goombas, but you can take them. I'm starting to realize why this isn't as highly regarded as Thousand Year Door. Because some of these enemies are just like I feel like.
Well, Thousand Year Door also had its fair share of recolored enemies, like the 3 variants, the 2 or 3, like, I believe, yeah, 3 variants of Piranha Plant, and like Cliffs as well are an enemy that commonly gets recurring variants in Mario series. I think it's just more obvious here, partly because there's a lot more different. There's like an additional kind of Goomba, and also because we're actually reading the title manual, so it becomes a lot more apparent to us than it would be for people who weren't doing this, because they're not crazy. Also, since we can access this area a lot earlier, these enemies are technically meant for us to encounter them at a lower level, so they give less experience as a result.
I mean, you say people who aren't crazy aren't constantly using tattle. I tell that to the thousands of fans that got mad at Dan and Aaron for not using Goobella's tattle. Like, so many people got on their case about that.
Well, here's the thing: most of those people, I'm sure, when they're playing this game, use tattle up to a point and then just switch to the badge that shows up enemy HP, because it's a lot more convenient. And for some reason, I'm just not doing that. Yes, I pointed that out early in the Let's Play, and for some reason, I'm just not going back for it for some goddamn reason.
Oh, this is a fucking spiked Goomba. Jesus Christ, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. They're spiked Goombas who live in the Toad Town tunnels. Max HP 7, attack power 3, defense power 0. Be careful of the spike hats they wear. It'll definitely hurt you if you jump on them. Unless you have that fucking badge that you keep equipped literally all the time. I mean, at least, like, even though, like, this is, like, it's getting ridiculous how many different variants of Goombas there are when there really don't need to be.
Technically 3. Because there's 3.
Still more creative than the enemies in Sticker Star.
Yep, which are Goombas. Just the one type.
Paper cone Goombas.
Oh yes, the equivalent to spiked Goombas.
What was the? Because there were a bunch of other ones. Because like every time a new one would show up, Emil's like, "Does this count as an original character, John?" Oh, good.
Anyway, so you recently rewatched the Thousand Year Door Let's Play, so you might recognize something along the lines of this guy if he shows up here. There we go. Blooper!
Oh, hey! Hey, it's this guy!
It's a blooper.
Well, I mean, this is more so just reminiscent of, I mean, he shows up in other Mario games.
Yeah.
But this is a blooper. Like, this isn't even the big blooper, it's just a blooper. Although he is bigger than your average blooper.
Yeah, he is a especially big blooper, despite not being a big blooper.
Yeah. He's a medium blooper. This is a blooper. Bloopers lurk in the dank pools of Toad Town Tunnel. You know, one of my art teachers in high school, like, literally banned students from using the word dank. They were saying it too much. Max HP 30, Attack power 3, defense power 0. They seem pretty unremarkable. Although, you have to wonder how they float in the air like that.
Yep, and then I'm just gonna swap out to bow. Because no defense points, you can just slap them for 5 damage around. That's more than I can do right now. So yeah, blooper. Also, the comment about Dank reminds me of something. So, back in high school, I was in a programming class with, I don't know why I did out of sight, I meant to smack. I was in a programming class with a friend named Earl, and there was I wouldn't say an incident initially, but there was a thing in the class where, okay, so in programming, it's relatively, like in programming, there are variables, and variables can have whatever names you put down for them. Although there are some general guidelines for how to name things so that it makes sense and you know what the things are that you've named.
Like, odds are, if it's a man wearing a hat, it'll be named Hat Man.
You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. That's like the general advice for naming variables. Name it what it is, like as obviously as possible, so that when you're reading it, you don't get nearly as confused.
Oh man, Ringo Starr's the secret genius, apparently.
So, however, sometimes, like when you're making a small, I almost said outside again. Sometimes when you're making a small program or just like a program for like a demonstration of something, you don't really need a complicated variable. So for those situations, it's not uncommon for people to use the variable name foo, F-O-O, which just is like a general like nonsense word for a variable in programming. This was used once in an example. And Errol got really annoyed by how meaningless the word was. So, like, in response to it, he started using the word blob, for meaningless variables. Now, in a normal situation, that's where this story would stop. A guy gets annoyed by meaningless word, replaces it with another meaningless word. However, our teacher took notice of that, and for some reason got really annoyed by him using the shrink stomp. If he allows you to brief intermission in the story. Shrink stomp allows you to shrink enemies, actually literally shrinks them, and also decreases their stats. Normally this is where the story would stop, but our teacher noticed this and inexplicably got really annoyed by him using the word blob in place of foo for a meaningless variable. So she told him to stop using blob for these variables, and in response he found a way to work in the word blob into every variable he made for the rest of the class.
That's amazing.
Blooper!
I love Errol.
And because it was done basically just to annoy her, like this feud just kept going throughout the entire goddamn year, and it was fucking hilarious.
It was you, him, and Josh that stayed at my grad party after I left, right?
I believe so.
So for those, a couple of years ago, of course, this is a different, okay.
Yeah, there are 3 different bloopers down here in the tunnels.
This is an electro, it literally doesn't look different at all. This is an electro blooper. Electro bloopers are electric charged. Of course, you can't see that. Right now, at least. Max HP 50, attack power 4, defense power 0. Bit of advice. When they're emitting electricity, which they aren't doing right now, so you'd be forgiven for thinking this is just a regular blooper, it'd be a smart move to avoid contact with them. If you can manage to damage them while they're emitting electricity will go back to normal. Their attack power when they're emitting electricity is 6. Let's try to be careful what he say.
Alright.
So of course, like, so when I graduated from high school, I had a grad party, you know, as you do. And, you know, I invited a lot of friends, and, you know, most people, you know, come and go as they please. Most people don't stay for the entire time. These fuckers. Jacob, Errol, and Josh. Josh, some HitmonChannel viewers may know, he has participated in a few HitmonChannel. Specifically, Project M, I believe he was part of. Well, actually, I don't remember if he was in Project M. He's been in a few, for sure. So these three were just kind of chatting. I don't even remember. Do you remember what you guys were talking about?
No, all I know is that at some point during that grad party, a bunch of us just broke out into singing All Star.
Oh yeah, love that. I don't know why, but we did that. Oh yeah, and we also did a 1-2 switch.
Oh yeah.
The runway game. But anyways, I just remember the story. I'm not gonna tell it because I don't know if Alex wants me to tell it, but
Yeah, well.
No, but my grad party, so like, you know, most people have left at this point, but Jacob, Errol, and Josh are talking about something. I don't remember what they were talking about.
I think it may have been just like either the universe or a universe adjacent topic.
Yeah, it was something existential / scientific.
Oh, spell powers run out, so we want to refresh, so we have to go back to the desert and buy another thing.
And, you know, we're like getting ready to leave, and they're just like in their own little world, and I think Josh specifically asked if they could stay at the venue, and we were like, I mean, I guess, we technically had access to the venue for the entire day.
Huh?
So, like, there wasn't really an issue with you guys staying. We were going, for sure, but, like, you get, like, so, like, yes, Jacob and 2 other guys seriously stayed at my grad party longer than I did. I remember you telling me how long you had stayed after we left, but I don't remember how long it was.
I would not be surprised if it was at least an hour.
Like, at least an hour after we had already left.
Yeah. Also, after we beat the electro blooper, these pipes showed up. But where do they lead? Let's find out. This first one leads back to Goomba Village.
Alright, you go back down.
Yep. Back down.
Oh.
The second pipe.
Is this literally just warp zone, like, to, like,
Back to Goomba Village.
like fast travel to towns you've already been to?
Yep.
Alright.
And this one leads to Dry Dry Outpost, which is convenient because that spell just ran out in the first. Oh, hello, Chuck Wismo. Oh, yeah, let's do this now. But it's convenient because the spell that gave occasional like defense, attack, money, experience boost, so on, just ran out. So we might as well go refresh that. But first, got Wheeze. It's everyone's favorite quizmaster, Chuck Wismo. Want to go to quiz? Yes. Then let's go to the question. Question. What ability does What ability does Goombario frequently use? Huh. I wonder which. Tattle. Correct! I don't know what
So,
that...
like, if Aaron and Dan
Congratulations.
were playing this game, would there just not be a correct answer?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, that'd be hilarious if they just didn't know the answer. Like, oh, that'd be funny. I wouldn't put it past them at all.
I'm gonna be honest. A small part of me wants them to let's play Paper Mario this game, not just because it's a good game and I think it'd be kind of cool to see them play it, but because I really hope on some small level, not small, but on some deep level, that when they get to the point of the booze, they will inexplicably make the same mistake that I did. Because that would just be normally hilarious, but it would be especially hilarious for us.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. But honestly, like if they were to play another Paper Mario game, I mean, even though like Dan seemed to really like the play style of Thousand Year Door, which obviously this is the closest match to that.
Huh?
I want to see them play Super Paper Mario just because I would love to see Dan's reaction. I don't know how much Aaron knows about the game, but I think it's safe to assume Dan probably doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see his reaction to such a dark story in a Mario. Like, he thought the noose in Road Port was dark.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Like, Super Paper Mario is, like, far and away the darkest Mario game ever, story-wise. And I would love this. I feel like Dan would be super into it, story-wise.
We got another head over here. And this leads farther over here. Oh, more spike Goombas. Happy. So we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, it's immediately over here. More spike Goombas. And the Power Smash badge. How to use a lap attack bar. So that's the equivalent to the Power Jump, which is nice because it means the hammer does even more damage. The dammer does even more damage.
Okay, you say that, but like, okay, again, I think I might be going crazy because I'm tired, but I definitely heard you say hamage rather than dammer. I don't know how.
Ow.
How this is happening. Oh god.
Oh, did I really not tell these guys yet?
No, you tattled the other two variants of Gloombas. This is a fucking Paragloomba. Paragloomba's a nasty winged Gloombas. Make their home in Toad Town tunnels. Max HP 7. Isn't that like significantly less than the other two?
No, it's the
Like,
same.
No, that's the same. Okay. Again, I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm getting fucked while eating out my own pussy.
You know, I was wondering after which I'm going crazy you said over the past number of episodes you'd follow up with that.
Yeah. Attack power 2, defensive power 0. I gotta rewatch that too. Just like Paragoombas. Sorry. Again, there's like you're just fucking adding an L to the fucking. The L in their names isn't an L. It's actually the recusant sigil, and Xehanort can also use it to track the location. It's on clothing, which is how they're able to track Sora through this game. Because they put an L on his shirt. Dark Goombas lose their wings when attacked when they fall and become Goombas. I fucking love that video so much because Kingdom Hearts. See, okay, I love, like, in theory, I love Kingdom Hearts as a
Yeah.
concept. Like crossing over Final Fantasy with Disney, and then adding some original characters in there as well, is like I love it conceptually. Well, like in execution, it's just so
Yeah.
like the story is just so stupid. And it's like maybe I should have expected that from a Final Fantasy and crossover. Because, well, I mean, like, okay, I don't have much experience. Okay, much is an overstatement. I don't have any experience with Final Fantasy. I pretty much the extent of my Final Fantasy knowledge is Black Mage and Aerith dying. That's the extent of my Final Fantasy knowledge. I know one fact for every song they let be included in Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then
Oh,
so,
chocolate milk.
but from the second fact at least, I can assume that
Question.
like, they generally
What color?
have like decently dark storylines for their games.
What was that? What color of pants was Goomba King wearing? Red and white.
Was he wearing pants?
He was technically wearing pants.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! All right. Oh yeah. And so I'm assuming that like in general Final Fantasy games plots are like reasonably dark. And especially given the somewhat self-aware or self-fulfill I shouldn't say self-aware, self-fulfilling or originally self-fulfilling nature of the first game, as it was originally thought to be Square Enix's final game because they were going bankrupt, and then it brought them out of bankruptcy. So we have a lot more Final Fantasies.
Yep.
Anyway, oh man. Now I wish Final Fantasy IV was called The Final Fantasy, and then the next one was just Final Fantasy V. It's fucking Final Destination pulled that shit. Like, acting like the fourth one was gonna be the final one, I guess. And then they made a fifth one, which,
right.
I mean, for the record, was way better than most of the previous ones, apparently. But anyway, where was I go? Oh yeah. So like, I assume that the Final Fantasy games are like have relatively dark plot lines, and then when you combine that with Disney, you kind of it's not a crossover that should work, and it really doesn't when you think about the plot, because like it's kind of dark but also so dumb.
Yeah. Although I will say the dumbness is, for the most part, the dumbness is pure Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games either, But there are some games with kind of like Final Fantasy X is a bit convoluted at times, but like most of the other ones are like I wouldn't necessarily, sorry that I wouldn't necessarily say are dark at a lot of times. I'd say there are at least ones that you can take seriously. You can't take Kingdom Hearts seriously once you actually try to examine the story, because it's just when doing that beyond more than the first game, it just gets so goddamn convoluted.
Well, that's the thing, because I feel like they wanted to have, like, oh, first of all, this is a fucking Dark Koopa. Dark Koopas and Koopa Troopas, who I need to say more. They're known for causing dizziness? What? Okay. They're max HP 8 and attack power 3, defense power 2. Like, be extra careful when you see them.
Grin.
Oh, grin. Okay, I was like, what the fuck is that word? Because that means they're getting
It means to smile, Noah.
See it now. Okay, what is floating in the... Is that just cans and bottles?
Yep. You're supposed to see if you jump on them, so.
Yeah, okay. Oh god, that grin. Oh god, that grin. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, so basically these are Koopas that can use, and right back up. These are Koopas that can use the same Dizzy ability that Cooper can when you upgrade him once.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing.
So if you let them attack you, they can sometimes just make you dizzy, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I think that the main problem with why Kingdom Hearts plot is so dumb is that they tried to make like a Final Fantasy-esque plot digestible for kids, but then also made it way too convoluted somehow. It's like, okay, in a way, like, okay, so you have read my script for Quest of Dylan.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Would it be fair to describe Quest of Dilla as the Kingdom Hearts of films?
Okay, I'm initially tempted to do it, but it's okay. But Kingdom Hearts got to where it is mostly by accident. Quest of Dilla is as it is intentionally.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. For those who don't know, because I guess I haven't talked about it much on the HitmonChannel, but like I've written some scripts in my spare time, and one of the earliest scripts I wrote was a film that I had the intention of making with friends after I graduated high school, but unfortunately our plans for that fell through. Basically I created a movie. My goal was, the movie, I wanted to build it solely around puns and references, put plot by the wayside, and while also sort of like making fun of films in general. And I managed to, by completely like completely like not caring about the plot, I managed to make the most intentionally convoluted plot ever. Like, it is, like...
And we're back to Blue Manor.
I won't go over the whole summary, because I do that way too much with people. And I only like telling it to, like, people who haven't heard it before. Because, I tell it the exact same way every time, so, like, if I tell it, like, I get tired of telling it, honestly. It's like, well, part of me gets tired of telling it, but then, like, and like people are reacting to it is like it gives me joy because they're like, okay, this is stupid, and I'm like, I know. I know. I'm very proud of what I've done here today. Sorry. It's like me telling people the plot of Quest of Dilla is like Aaron talking to a sentient copy of Skyward Sword. I'm sorry. I'm just really proud of what I've done here today.
And we finally get to upgrade Kumbaria.
I don't actually hate them. No, I tell it to my friends, obviously, but like, it's just. I mean, I feel like some of them hate me after I tell it. Because, I mean, because my explanation for it, I only give them the prologue, which is the most convoluted part. Like when I revealed that part is only the prologue, like most people, like many people, well, multiple people for sure, have responded to that with like, you could make a whole movie on just that. But that's the interesting thing, like written out that, like in the script, that part's only like 17 pages. So it's not even like that long as far as like story. Because the script itself is like a total of like, oh god, I don't remember how long the script is. But it's like it's at least 50 pages. So like, and the prologue, it's like, I mean, it's specifically meant to like make fun of like, well, mostly superhero movies, but other movies are guilty of this too. But specifically I should specifically I should specifically say like superhero origin stories. You know, packed with a bunch of like exposition and backstory at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like making fun of that, like like the movie's the script is constantly like mocking the tropes of films in general, and also paying homages, quote unquote, to a lot of other films that like. By homages, I mean just straight up quoting the movies.
The thing that.
Some of the quotes are from movies I haven't even seen to this day. Like, I put a Shutter Island quote in there. I'm like, I haven't even seen this movie, but this quote works with the context.
I think my favorite, okay, personally, probably because I was cast as one of the parts in this bit, sort of.
I wrote that bit. I know exactly what you're talking about. I wrote that bit in specifically for you and Alex because of that one day you did it at lunch.
Yeah. So basically, there's a bit in the to contribute to the convoluted plot. There's a bit in the story of Quest of Dilla involving someone pretending to cloning themselves to look like Doctor Strange. Okay, that's not the right wording.
Wait, that's not where I thought you were going with this.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the old man bit.
Okay, no, it wasn't the old man bit. I forgot about the old man bit. Fuck.
There was a bit. Well, I mean, it's like this again. This stemmed from like a story. Sorry to interrupt your thing, but like, there's a bit I wrote into the movie, where it's just two old men like talking with each other and not understanding what the other person is saying. And I wrote it in specifically because like Jacob and Alex were going off on that bit at lunch one day for a few minutes, and it was hilarious, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna throw that in the movie because that's great.
Yeah. Anyways, the bit that I was specifically thinking of, okay, so Doctor Strange is in the movie because why not? And there's I can't remember what the context for the bit is, but there's, I think, it's been a while since I've read this case, so I can't remember what the context was. But I think it's something along the lines of someone asked Doctor Strange either like how he got something or where he was for a certain time, and it cuts to Doctor Strange walking into a Goodwill that's run by Dormammu and going, "Dormammu, I've come to bargain." For some reason, the setting makes it fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, I had a lot of fun writing that. Well, because the context is because like there's a joke before that, because that takes place after the big climactic showdown, and now I should preface this by saying I wrote this film before Infinity War came out. There's a bit where basically like a bunch of like people are coming in to help Dilla in the final fight, including Leonardo DiCaprio as Paul Revere, some other people from his backstory, randomly She-Hulk, and my explanation for She-Hulk being there was that, oh, I was the one Marvel hero they didn't want for Infinity War. So then, like, Doctor Strange comes into play when, like, he basically, because, like, Dilla takes, spoilers for a film that hasn't been made. Sheegan is taken to the hospital because she was impaled during the battle, and there's that whole thing where they have to, like, remove the unborn fetus of Chief's burger. And
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about that detail in this story. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's super convoluted. But yeah, Doctor Strange is the one performing the surgery. Or he is, until Al Owens comes in, kills Doctor Strange, and steals his DNA to disguise himself as Doctor Strange. Oh god, this movie is so stupid, and I love it. I really hope I get to make this movie some. Now, granted, if I do make this movie, there's going to be some heavy rewrites, but
Alright.
it's still the foundation is still there for something great. I just need to rewrite it a lot. Oh, you died again.
But I had a life shroom.
Oh, nice.
Because I planned for my own demise, which is not something one normally does when making a plan, but screw it.
Oh yeah, no, the reason, actually, the specific reason I threw in She-Hulk in the battle was because, like, Captain America was part of Dilla's backstory, and so you'd expect, like it's building up to, like, all the people from Dilla's backstory, like, coming in to help him, because like, Annie is there too, but she's grown up, and, yeah,
I love, like, the explanation of random bits from Questadilla completely out of context because of the...
Yeah, no, because, like, it's amazing. I'm very proud of that script. And I really want to get that made someday. But, like, and, like, you know, some people would be like, well, you shouldn't explain the parts of a movie you haven't made yet, because, like, people could steal your ideas. Nobody's going to steal this idea. We're just, again, like, all of the explanations we're giving are completely out of context and don't make sense. Like, I mean, they make a little more sense with context, but they certainly don't make sense without. And yeah, so, like, when Doctor Strange shows up to perform the surgery, that's why, like, Dilla is like, well, why didn't, like, we wanted an Avenger to help us out with the battle, why couldn't you help us out? And then, yeah, and and like after the Dormammu have come to bargain bit, like they specifically asked, did you just do a Family Guy cutaway? Cause like I wrote that specific, cause that is a Family Guy. Like I wrote that would be a Family Guy cutaway. That's cause like. Yeah, because I wasn't only making fun of movies, I was making fun of other media too, and like, yeah, this Family Guy, like, most of the humor from Family Guy is either like something completely outrageous to make people angry, or a dumb cutaway.
Alright, and ladies and gentlemen, we have defeated the anti-guy.
There's a fucking,
and our reward is the Power Plus badge, which increases Mario's damage output by 1.
There's this YouTuber I watch called Salty DK Dan.
Uh-huh.
And one of his, like, his main series is Have You Heard About? Where he just finds some shit that nobody's ever heard of and, like, does a video reacting to it. But, and one of the one of the earliest episodes of this is, I forget if I told you about SpongeBob Beyond, but that was also one of the early episodes he did, where he looked at that SpongeBob fan series that gets like way too serious and eventually just phases out SpongeBob and Patrick completely. The creators of that actually want me to review the series. I was actually thinking, and they were like, you can make fun of us if you want, we don't care. But actually, the series recently ended. I was actually considering, like, doing a dub of at least the first episode, because I thought that'd be fun. I don't know if we'll do it. Hang on, I'll explain the other thing after.
Yeah, perfect. Mario hates this thing. Though he'll surely turn back. I think. Doesn't look like the sort of thing that bothered Mario. I wonder if I should really trust what Peach says. I mean, it's not like she's in league with Mario or anything. Well, it doesn't matter. King Bowser ordered it. And he's the boss.
I love this game's writing. It's, oh man. Anyway, so one of the other early videos Salty DK Dan did of that, Have You Heard About series is where he looked at a Spider-Man training studio thing. So like there was apparently this thing you could buy in I think the mid-2000s called the Spider-Man Training Studio.
And I'm gonna just said it earlier. And I'm gonna, since that fight of anti-guy left me with 2 HP, I think I'm just gonna go find a thing to heal and then come back here.
Fair enough. But so the Spider-Man Training Studio is like, it's got like mats and like inflatables, and it's like meant for kids, obviously. It's just like a goofy little thing to like train yourself to quote unquote become Spider-Man or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like it's stupid, but it came with an instructional video for the different exercises that you do to become Spider-Man, and this video is fucking ridiculous. There's a part where where Spider-Man is like looking at the camera, Spider-Man quote unquote, it's some guy in a horribly made Spider-Man suit. But like he's like, You know, like, villains are, like, super villains are always, like, throwing buses. I never quite understood that. And then it literally, like a Family Guy cutaway, it cuts to, like, a CGI-ass Venom picking up a bus and just tossing it, and that's it.
Oh, Team Mario, what fortunate timing. The town seems to be pretty active today, but that's not a concern. None of my concern. I had a dream last night, and another oracle spoke to me. His voice was heavenly. If you keep going around and around the red palm tree in the distant desert town Dry Dry Outpost, something good will happen, so said the voice in my dream. It doesn't seem to make any sense at all to me. In fact, thinking about it makes me so uneasy that I can't sleep at night. If you find out what it means, please tell me. I forgot that we encountered this early in the game. Let's just do this and then we'll get back to everything. Just one more thing real quick that I forgot to activate earlier, which would have saved a lot of time, but oh well.
When you were doing that, I was just thinking, his voice is so heavenly.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. We're never gonna get our hands on that stupid link. Jesus, I'm so ticked off that I'm molting.
Like fucking the least heavenly voice. Fucking yeah. Yeah, so it's just like and like the like salty Deacon Dan makes a joke about how that Venom thing is like straight up a Family Guy cutaway. And then like edits it like a Family Cutaway, and it's like a terrible like text to speech voice over Peter's mouth moving, and it's like, "Hello, Griffin family. Do you remember that one time Venom threw that bus?" And then it just shows Venom throwing the bus. Oh, it's so good.
Excuse me, can I talk for you? Can I talk to you for a second? What exactly? What exactly are you doing walking around that tree? You're making me dizzy. What? You talking? You believe some crazy dream? Well, okay, I guess. I mean, I got a message in a dream a long time ago, but it didn't mean anything. I mean, all it said was, "Fear not, for I bring good news of great joy, which will be for all people." It said there's a house with a wooden roof near a large town near a castle. And if you go there, you will find the Son of God.
Wait, so Merlin is Jesus now?
Huh?
The spinning house in the town is Merlin's house.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Oh.
If you spin jump 3 times inside the house, something catching up into you. A house with a whirling roof as if all existed. Huh? I believe that when I see a green ghost with 2 red
Ribbons.
ribbons and non-existent hair. Yeah, that's a good point. Why the fuck does she have those? Like, she doesn't have any hair.
I don't know.
I don't take James seriously.
Anyways, the Merlin is Jesus thing actually reminded me. There's actually so King Arthur lore, King Arthur mythology is weird because it's kind of inconsistent in a lot of places. For example, in one version of the Arthurian canon, was that?
So like that makes sense.
Yeah. So for example, in one version of it also kept getting like remade and edited over the years. In one version of the Arthurian canon, Merlin is the Antichrist.
Oh.
But then gets baptized and saved, and no longer is the Antichrist, but keeps the Antichrist powers.
Oh, wow. Okay, so a win-win, I guess. Also, I just made myself think of something that I didn't want to think. How the fuck does Minnie Mouse's bow stay on her head?
This is a good question.
Like, I've never thought of that before, but, like, what? Has anyone ever thought of this? Like, I'm gonna Google this. How does Minnie...
Huh. Oh, this badge is quick change. I had no idea such a useful badge was in my attic. Mario, you are a very lucky man. You should put that badge on.
What?
Quick change changes your party member and attacks with it on that turn.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Very useful badge.
Also, I haven't finished typing out how does Minnie Mouse's bow stay on her head, but I love, oh god, Google autofill. So the Google autocomplete options are, how does Minnie Mouse look? How does Minnie Mouse talk? How does Minnie Mouse sound? How does Minnie Mouse look like? Which is completely grammatically incorrect, but whatever. How does Minnie Mouse have this? How does Minnie Mouse talk on Apple Watch? How does Minnie Mouse blink her eyes? How is Minnie Mouse? I mean, it's nice that people are asking how is Minnie Mouse, because nobody asks how is Gamora.
Why is Minnie Mouse?
Oh man. What is Minnie Mouse's cat's name, and what is Minnie Mouse's real name? Wait. And then, when I added the apostrophe S, one of the Google autofills was, what is Minnie Mouse's phone number? You know what? Fuck it, I don't care as much about the bow thing anymore. Oh, I forgot about the Disney hotline. I forgot about the Disney bedtime hotline. For those who don't know, there is... Oh, actually, this is older. There's a newer one now, but...
as you guys can see, that very honest guys, as you see, there's a bunch of Shy Guys here, holding a bunch of items. When you defeat them, you get those items, which is how you get, for example, the calculator bag, along with a mushroom and some cake mix, which is what those bags are.
Anyway, so Disney's
Bedtime
hotline. For those who don't know, a while back, Disney had... Actually, this might still exist, I'm curious. So, if you dial, 877-7-Mickey, which is 877-764-2539, users then get to select to hear a message from his or her favorite character. The selections are Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy. Yeah. And yeah, it's just a bedtime message. Hang on, I'm gonna see if this works. Oh no, wait. It says it'll only be available until August 31st. And this was from 2018. So,
that's unfortunate.
It's not a thing anymore. But I wonder if the new one's still there, because there was a new one as well. Hang on, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, bedtime. Because they recently had a new one that, yep. Oh, it's actually, it's the same number, actually. Well, it's 18777 Mickey, I should say. And
No.
this one actually, this one has less options, but also cooler options. Because you have Mickey, But then instead of Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy, they have Yoda and Spider-Man.
Oh, neat.
Oh, actually no, they do have more options. There's also Woody from Toy Story, Jasmine from Aladdin, and Elsa and Anna from Frozen.
Neat.
And this, unfortunately, appears to be past 2 because it
That's
says,
so rinky.
wow, that one didn't last long at all. It lasted from September 16th to September 30th.
Huh.
That's a shame.
Wow. And I'm kind of trying to speed. Oh, stop it. Okay, I was going to say I was kind of trying to speed through some of this, but then I spent like a solid minute just trying to get one item. Because I think we'd be going a little over time from the normal video length, but I think we might just be able to get to the next party member. At the very least, we can make it so that we can get to the next party member at the beginning of the next episode. Whenever that'll be. Ooh, a thing I forgot to mention while I was down there. So, funny thing about the anti-guy. So, the anti-guy is an optional boss in this game. He's doubly optional, actually. Hold on. First, Storekeeper Toad.
Oh,
Mario, it's you! Shy Guy stole my storeroom key! I can't stay in business if I can't get into my storeroom! What will I do?
Give him the storeroom key.
Alright, Mario, you did it! You got back my storeroom key before I even told you I lost it!
Well, he just said it was stolen.
Thank you so much! You saved my livelihood! Well, no, the point is you had it. Now I'm thinking it was you disguised as a shotgun that stole it. Tell you what, take anything you like from the storeroom. I mean, it's not like you're clearly suspicious of having stolen the key. It's just a little thank you for getting my storeroom key back.
You go into the storeroom and we find 4 things. We find a dizzy dial. We find a vault room. We find a snowman doll. And we find this. A toy train. A very well-designed toy train. Could this be more than a toy? So, I didn't directly point this out, but back in the Shy Guy toy box, there were some conductor toads in front of a track with no train. If we went up to talk to them, they would have commented that the train was missing. So, it's the toy box. We have a toy train. You can just go up to the toy box, put in the toy train, and the train's back.
yeah. Okay, unfortunately, I tried the Disney bedtime hotline, and it says phone number not recognized. So, I guess that's not a thing we can do. However, let's see.
Yahoo! We're back in business. This train just dropped out of the sky and onto the tracks. Public transit's up and running.
Oh wait, this is one of the train toads. Public transit's up and running.
So you press the switch to go to the right. And I think let's talk to the captain. Not the captain. The conductor. Okay, let's talk to this guy.
The train's running again. We can't leave anytime. Or we can leave.
Well, you just get in the train. I just get in the train. Oh, or maybe not. Do I just... God damn it! I have to go to Pink Station. No.
Well, all aboard. downloaded this app where you can get a fake call from Sonic,
Of course.
just as a joke. And the ringtone it gives you is Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. Alright, hang on, I'm gonna answer it. Wow, that's just not Sonic.
And
That's
also,
just not Sonic. You lied to me, app.
Also, I've been trying to go past the Shy Guys in an attempt to vaguely save some time to maybe get to the party members episode. I'd like to point out that there's a Shy Guy just on fire in the background right now.
Oh, wait, what?
There's a Shy Guy just on fire back there.
Oh!
I'm gonna leave him to his agony.
That's not CGI. He's actually on fire right now.
God damn it. Fine, I guess we'll actually fight the goddamn Shy Guys in Shy Guys Toy Box. Spy Guy.
What the fuck? I was looking at my phone. I looked up. Holy shit. This is a fucking spy guys look like they're ready for war in their spiffy camouflage gear. Jesus, I love this thing. Max attack power 2, defense power 0. They change their weapons each time they are attacked. You'd best try to avoid their hammer attack. Every time you're hit by it, you lose one of your commands. I love it. What is the other one? What?
That is a meta guy.
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Fuck. Okay, almost.
The name implies...
And I can't jump anymore.
The name implies that could be pretty annoying.
Well, let's find out.
This is a fucking Medi guy. Medi guys are the emergency workers of the Shy Guy clan. Yes, they have health insurance. Deal with the ramifications of, like, if one species has health insurance, does that mean all Mario species have health insurance? Max HP 7, attack power 1, defense power 0, or health care, I guess. We don't know if they
Also, the Shy Guys originally came from Mario 2, which was a dream. So does that mean dreams have health insurance?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Does Wart have health insurance, Noah?
God damn it. This is Pokemon with Snowda. Over again. Can Pokemon be counted as dependents? I mean, if I pick one out for her, if I pick a quote out for... No, actually, I think Aaron's the one who said that. I don't remember. One of them said it. They have the power to heal the wounded companions. Of course, they also attack. We'd better hurry up and take them out of the mix. It's a pain if they keep fixing all the damage we do.
Alright, so let's take them out of the mix. Dramatically. PK Starstorm.
You know, in hindsight, maybe you should have tattled him first so that you would have had it, and then you could have... I'm sorry, what the fuck? Speaking of dreams, god damn it, what the fuck?
What?
An article just popped up in my newsfeed. Star Wars The Force Awakens could actually just be one big dream sequence. I hate that is a theory. Whose dream is the question?
Noah, look at...
Oh, hey. Is that guy?
I think that's either... I'm pretty sure he's Gourmet Guy.
Nice.
Because although I'm sure that fat guy was just a really tempting pun. Not even pun, just name for the translators. what are Shy Guys called in Japan?
I could look that up after I'm done looking at this dumb theory. So as it turns out, the theory stands
Get the mailbag.
that
Guess we missed that.
the theory posits that because R2 is normally so like involved with the story that like that Force Awakens is actually his dream while in sleep mode, which raises a lot more questions than it answers.
Yeah. Also, it seems like we're not going to be able to get to the next part during this episode because I have 4 minutes left of my camera. So we're just going to do this battle and then call it there for the episode. But first, we must tattle.
So, fucking Sky Guy. Sky Guy is a master balloonist. Max HP 7, attack power 3, defense power 0. We can attack the balloon too. Once they fall, they're just like normal Shy Guys. They're no longer master balloonists, apparently. I wish I had a balloon so I could float. That looks awesome. Fucking Kumbari. Sometimes I wonder about this guy. Here's the thing.
You know, specifically target the balloons for him.
So, R2's not really involved with Rise of Skywalker either, so does that mean that's also a dream?
Yeah. Anyways, another.
Oh my fucking god. This is a groove guy. Groove guys wear weird clothes. They're probably stage clothes. Shh, you know performers. I take offense to that. First of all, it's called a costume. That's really the only problem I have with it, actually. Max HP 7, attack power 2, defense power 0. They shake the booties to call in reinforcements. What the fuck? They also spin around in front of you to make you feel dizzy. These rock and rollers are a drag, so let's ditch them as fast as we can. Holy fucking shit, this game. See, beforehand, I was giving this game a little bit of shit for being not super creative with the Goomba variants. I'm starting to think they're getting a little too creative. So, because holy shit, like, what? Oh man. Yeah, so Force Awakens is apparently all a dream of R2-D2. God help us all. Oh man. Oof. It is 2 a.m. now, at the time we're recording this. Thank God this episode
Fuck!
is
Okay.
done soon. But like, wow.
Thank goodness for the quick change badge. Also, yeah, this episode might end up